Welcome back to Content Supply Live, where we break down what's working in marketing today and how you can apply it to grow your business. In this episode, we're diving into one of the most surprising case studies in entertainment marketing, the hit series Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. From viral controversy to strategic content drops, this show didn't just survive the headlines, it used them to fuel a massive buzz around season 2. But here's the kicker. It's not just about TV drama. We're unpacking how they leverage storytelling, influencer partnerships, and repurpose content to keep audiences hooked. And how you can do the same whether you're promoting a brand, a product, or your personal story. So, a little background on this. If you aren't familiar with the show or didn't watch season 1, I'll give you a little background. So, season 1 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives followed the personal stories of women in the LDS or Mormon community around Utah, revealing struggles and secrets rarely shared publicly. It quickly gained attention. Some viewers loved the show, and others really hated it. They hated what it showed the Mormon community like. Like I said, it was very highly criticized for the better and for the worse. This controversy helped the show go viral, sparking conversations online and building major buzz for season 2. So let's kind of talk about this. I think all of us watched the show at some point. So what were your thoughts on season 1, and how do you think that they effectively marketed season 2?
Yeah, you want to go first?
Go ahead. You go ahead,
I have
Brendan.
an opinion. I love the show personally. As an active LDS member myself, I expected to hate it, to be honest, because that's kind of how it was sold to me in a lot of ways. But I was actually thoroughly enjoyed it. My wife likes the show Selling Sunset, and I feel like it's exactly like that type of vibe. If you guys have watched that show, familiar with that reality TV of realtors, it it very much feels like just a typical ETV or um, just entertainment junk. Basically, it's reality. It's fun. There's people who the producers are trying to just show the weirdest and wackiest things that people do in their lives, and so it's fun to just have that little bit of a when you have a very clean community that is very family centric, and then you have these people who are wild within that community. It's odd. It's incongruent, definitely, especially when people are usually doing what these gals are doing in their 20s, but they're in their mid 30s and 40s for some of them. So in terms of like promoting the next season and what I've seen working really well, I saw that Swig kind of leaned in to be a promoter with them. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but Swig is that the dirty soda brand that I think is the one that's kind of broken away and become the larger brand. Because in Utah, there's a soda shop on every corner, so we see them everywhere. But Swig is like kind of one of the first ones. They started in St. George a long time back, and I noticed that during, I don't know if it was a red carpet type premiere or if they're just doing like a little press thing this last weekend, but I saw lots of reels and little clips about them talking about their favorite drinks, and that because that's just a funny thing. Like, oh, on paper, a lot of them drink alcohol, but their main thing is these dirty sodas, these really sugary drinks that are made by Swig, and then Swig like promoted that, and they like cross brand promoted there. And interestingly enough, like I feel like that is a really good way because it's obviously big brand congruency because it's obvious that they use the product, they're promoting that. So it helps with the season 2 piece as well. The other thing that's just really interesting is they they're really just leaning in harder into the oddity of what they're doing. But it feels this time around, now that we know what it is, I feel like the hype isn't as much around like oh my gosh, I can't believe they're saying this because everybody that's seen the show now knows what it is. That's just kind of like, all right, more of the same. Another Jersey Shore season, yay! Like that's kind of the vibe I get from it. But I'm excited. I'm gonna watch it. I still hate Whitney, so we'll see how that goes with that. On her interviews, I like her. In the show, evil. So it's like finding. That's an interesting.
I disagree.
You like her?
Whitney is literally fine. She's got a bad edit. I think you're being dramatic.
Whoa! No way! That's crazy. Oh my god!
I don't think she's that bad.
No,
like I think she probably got a bad edit.
The bad edit, sure. It's hard when you have all the edits that are bad though. Like that's
I don't know. I guess.
I don't
I
know. So
mean,
anyway, like that,
yeah,
I'll sit down at that point. But yeah, go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts now. I'm
I'll make my case.
morbidly curious. Make your case. State
That's
it.
so funny. No, I think it's really interesting to see a show like this really pop off. I don't think that people realize how rare that is, especially because it's such a highly competitive space where you already have all of the Real Housewives shows and spinoffs, The Bachelor. What are other shows? Like there are so many reality shows that are competing for the same demographic. And so to have a brand new show come in that's like completely out of nowhere and really succeed is really, really impressive. And I think one of the reasons why it succeeded is because all of the people on Mom Talk, or all the stars of the reality show, already had their own social platform. Whereas some of the other castings that they do for The Bachelor or Real Housewives, they don't always come from like a big social media following. So I feel like that is really a big reason why this show has really popped off. And I think it just kind of goes to show how, like, the power behind content marketing and also capturing a moment when it's still relevant. And it really was impressive how fast they were able to turn around the show from when the original, I guess, like Mom Talk scandal happened. It probably seems slow to the rest of consumers, but in like reality TV marketing, I feel like it was really, really fast, like the way they were able to turn it around and create a show in a pretty limited timeline. So, I also have been really impressed with their marketing, like both other brands that have been hopping in. Um, I love Swig. I also love Thirst. And there's been a couple of the of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives that have been doing promotions with other soda companies. So I think it's really fascinating to see all the like kind of Utah niche brands hop in on this trend. And I also have been really impressed with the social media marketing of the actual show. Um, there was, I don't know how many months it's been since the first season dropped. Are we approaching maybe like 8 months? Like
I think it's
6
been
to
a
8 months,
year,
I think.
hasn't it?
Yeah,
Seems
I
pretty
think
much a
it's been
year.
about a year.
It's been a year.
I
Wow.
think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's insane. Wait, really?
Yeah, I want to say that it premiered in April of 24, but I could be wrong.
We're fact checking.
Yeah, fact checking right now. Sorry, September of
Okay, that's what I thought.
yeah.
So
So
around 8 months. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. Um, okay, I'm back. I do think it's just been really impressive to see how they've been able to turn around the season 2 so fast and still kind of like ride the wave and ride the hype. And I'm excited to see what season 2 brings. I have been loving, like, in that 8 month span of there being no new show or no new content, we've seen a lot of the stars unintentionally or like indirectly promote the show by calling each other out with certain TikToks that they're making, or just kind of playing into the drama. And who knows if how much is scripted, but I think as a marketer, I can kind of tell, okay, this is definitely to promote the show. And it's working because if you follow these girls on social media, you see them during this 8 months of kind of like silence. You don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, but you do see them kind of making jabs at each other, or different alliances forming, and it's super fascinating to watch. And so I think all of that together goes really well into just promoting this show and it's season 2. So I'm excited to see what other marketing things they do and what their social medias look like as the show comes out this Friday or Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's interesting too, because I mean, right after season 1 premiered, so I guess in last September, all of the Secret Wives of Mormon Wives, all of the cast went on a media tour. Like they went on so many different podcasts, like huge podcasts, like Chicks in the Office, like Call Her Daddy, like these huge ones. And they didn't just wait until like right before season 2 is about to premiere to go on these podcasts. They really rode the wave for like the last 6 months. Like I've seen a couple of like the women on the show be on podcasts like 2 months ago. So like back in, like March or even January of this year, I've seen them talk about the show. And where they're not like necessarily like directly marketing season 2 of the show. They're putting little teasers in there saying like, oh, well, you might find about like more information on next season, or like stay tuned for next season to find out if I'm actually divorced or not. Like little things like that they put into um, these podcasts that they went on. And I thought that was really interesting, and also like a really great way to market your content, whether that is like a podcast that you're doing, or whether you're just marketing your brand.
It's interesting. I like the flow they did there because they did a really good media press tour and they did a really good job making sure to always be in the public eye. And I think that was a really good way to promote the show because I think this comes back to we have a client that I've shared this perspective that when you are making media, you have to promote the media. Like the media that they made, the show is just a product, and they're promoting the product. And when you look at it from that perspective, then it like all the moves they're making are like textbook perfect, just nailing it in so many facets. And so I think there's a lot to like rinse and repeat from a branding perspective on how we can do the same type of thing in a B2B market or a direct consumer element. Like maybe there's some ways that we can say, okay, hey, this is an interesting take on how the gals in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives are doing a brand partnership. How can you do something similar with a creator or things like that? It's just a very natural next fit. But I'm curious to see if it'll be a successful going forward, if there's an appetite for just the initial shock value, or if there's actually like some substance as these seasons go on. That'll be thanks to the producers, if so. But I'd be curious to see because the initial thing I think was just hate watching and shock value, and now that it's been around for a season, this is where the real test comes, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm going to add to what you said, Brendan, about the brand partnerships. I think that part of the genius behind these brand partnerships is that everyone that we've seen has been it's been like the perfect fit for the brand that they're promoting. So, like when Jen was promoting Thirst or the other girls were promoting Swig, that is like so they're symmetrical. Like that just makes sense. And they fit the same, like both of those, like both the brand and the influencer serve the same target audience. So I'm also excited to see what other brands come from this and to see if they start promoting more brands that are outside of Utah, or if they keep promoting these Utah brands, if they continue to expand and are relevant to people outside of the state. So I'm excited to see what comes of that.
Excited to see too. Be interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting.
Yes, there's so many Utah-owned brands that are, like, relevant to, like, the influencer community, I feel like. So I feel like I don't know, there's so much that they can do with it in and out of the
Right.
show.
Agreed.
So,
That's great.
all right. Well, that is today's episode of Content Supply Live. Let us know what your thoughts are on The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Let us know that if you're watching season 2, and if you are, let us know what marketing tips you see that your brand can copy or do to make your brand successful. And we will talk to you next time on Content Supply Live. Bye.